How are you, tech lovers and friends? I hope everything is great over there, and welcome once again to the channel where technology becomes accessible for everyone. Have you ever been listening to music at home and thought this could sound much better? Well, today I have in my hands something that can completely change your home audio experience. This is the Tronsmart FIITUNE x30, a speaker that promises real spatial audio with high-res certification and no less than 80 watts of power. For less than 180 euros? Yes, you heard right, spatial audio in a speaker for under 200 euros? Is it just marketing or does it really work? So stay until the end because we're going to check it out together here on TechGround. Before we get started, let's talk a bit about Tronsmart. For those who don't know, it's a brand that has been specializing in portable audio for over a decade. They're not the typical unknowns that appear out of nowhere. They've been building a solid reputation, especially in Europe and America. What's interesting about this brand is that they've always focused on putting premium technology into affordable products. And they've been the first to include advanced codecs in Bluetooth speakers, and now they're going for spatial audio. The FIITUNE 30 is their most ambitious bet so far, positioning itself directly against brands like JBL, Sony, or even Sonos. And well, since you're here, if you're enjoying the content, like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It really helps us keep bringing the best reviews to the channel. Let's move on to unboxing. Let's see what this Tronsmart box has to offer. The packaging feels high quality from the start, white, minimalist, yet well illustrated and detailed. This presentation could easily rival premium brands. When we open it, wow, we find the speaker, which is perfectly protected with this high density foam. You can tell they've ensured the product arrives perfectly, can't you? And look how elegant it looks with this combination of premium fabric and metallic details. What else is included? We have the USB-C charging cable, which is great since some manufacturers no longer include one. A 3.5mm auxiliary cable in case you want to connect it with a cable. The warranty documentation and the basic user manual, but it's complete, exactly what you need. I love the integrated aluminum handle, especially when taking it out. It's not just added, but built into the design. It's like they wondered how to make it look more premium but still functional. They've nailed it. At first glance, this product clearly values both aesthetics and functionality. No cheap plastics or questionable finishes. Now that it's out of the box, let's discuss the physical design first. Let me tell you the dimensions because this thing is not exactly compact. 37 centimeters long, 20.5 centimeters high, and a depth of about 12 centimeters. To give you an idea, it's like lining up 3 iPhone 15 Pro Max. The weight is 3.6 kilograms, which is about the same as a MacBook Air with its charger. And well, you might think, is that a lot? It depends on what you want it for. If you want something to bring daily, to the beach or pool, if you're gonna be moving it around constantly, then it's probably not the best option. But if you want something to keep at home and occasionally move it, like to the terrace or to take it to the bathroom, if you're going to take a shower or be in your room listening to music quietly, then it will make much more sense. Now let's talk about materials. And the chassis body is indeed made of plastic, but it's high quality plastic. In combination with this carrying handle, which is integrated into the design, but in this case it is made of aluminum. On the front and back we have a fabric, a mesh, that also feels like very good quality. It's not the typical kind that looks like it's going to tear or break just by looking at it. And it gives it that elegant touch, and obviously also protects the speakers. And well, it has a color. As you can see in gray, very nice, kind of like aluminum. It gives it that elegant touch and looks good aesthetically. Also anywhere, and on the top we have different buttons for quick access to the settings. To start, we have the power button. Let's go from this side to that side, from left to right, from right to left, depending on how you look at it. The physical button to turn it on is a button that we can actually press, and the rest of the buttons are going to be touch sensitive. Next is the pairing button for Bluetooth, which does have a blue color. Then we have the spatial sound, which is this kind of little circle with some rings around it, and it's also touch sensitive like the rest. Pairing button, since we'll be able to pair this device with another identical device to have real stereo. Next is this knob that we can see here, which has an LED at the bottom and has micro perforations. It's in a fractal style and the Tronsmart logo is in the center. And what is this for? It's a speaker that points perpendicularly toward the ceiling to better distribute sound throughout the room. We'll discuss that soon. What's next? What follows? The M button switches between auxiliary and Bluetooth. It's essentially the mode button. We also have the volume down button minus sign, which when held skips to the previous song. The play pause button is also included. And finally, the volume up button, which will also let you skip to the next song. As you can see, it's a very nice layout. Now, we'll also talk about the implementation inside the device. At the bottom, you can see Tronsmart embossed here. On the back, we can also find this flap, where we'll have access to the USB-C charging port and the mini jack. 3.5, as I mentioned, to pair it directly with devices that don't have Bluetooth. And finally, the bottom part, which is no less important. We have two C-shaped non-slip pads, so you can place it and it stays elevated, and this way it won't slip on the surface. And micro perforations for the bass that we have in this lower part, so that the vibration and sound can also come out evenly. As you can see, a very elegant finish. It's like they've blended a retro style, reminding me of an old radio with a modern minimalist touch. The ingress protection, 6 certification it has, means you can cook next to it without worrying about splashes. Leave it on the terrace, even if it rains, or even take it to the pool. Obviously it's not submersible, but it is very resistant to water and dust. The overall design is elegant but not boring. It's as if they took a retro speaker and added a touch of modern personality to it. Honestly, I like it a lot, and it looks great anywhere we put it, in the house, in the garden, on the terrace, or wherever we take it. Now let's talk about the specifications and how this speaker works and why it justifies its price and the promises the brand makes to us. First of all, because of the acoustic configuration, which is where the real magic happens in this speaker. We're talking about a 2.2.1 system with no less than 6 active drivers. And you might be wondering, what does this mean? Well, instead of having 1 or 2 speakers doing all the work here, each frequency range has its own specialist. We have 2 tweeters for high frequencies, delivering crystal clear details so cymbals sound distinct, not just like white noise. 2 more mid-range drivers for vocals and instruments. This is the most important part, as it's where most of the music truly lives. And 1 for the subwoofer, which is a racetrack for the deep bass. And when I say deep, I mean you can really feel that bass in your chest. But here comes the interesting part, and that's that it has a directional driver I mentioned earlier, specifically upward facing for spatial audio. As I said, this little guy is shaped like a mushroom. What it does is shoot the sound upwards, it bounces off the ceiling, and that way it creates a sense of height, which we usually only find in home theater systems, worth thousands of euros. In addition, it has 4 passive radiators, which will reinforce the bass without needing to deliver much more power. It's like having phantom speakers that amplify the sound without using extra energy. It has a total power of 80 root mean square. Here's an important clarification. It's not 80 marketing watts, but 80 actual watts. Just to give you an idea, a JBL Flip 6 has about 20 watts and a Sony XB33 has about 24 watts. We're talking about 3 or 4 times more power. If we talk about the frequency range, it goes from 50 Hz up to 40,000 kHz. 50 Hz means those really deep bass sounds. For comparison, most speakers usually have between 80 and 100 Hz. And what about 40 kHz? Technically, we won't be able to hear it because our ears only go up to 20 kHz. But that extension is what makes the high-res audio certification present in this FIITUNE X30. Battery life depends on usage. It won't last several days, but I've nearly gone a week without charging. If we use it occasionally, it's fine. But if the LEDs are on all day at maximum, what can you do? Well, maybe it will last us about 10 to 12 hours continuously. Bluetooth 5.3 with support for LAC codec. This means most speakers transmit audio at up to 320 kilobytes per second. This one can reach 990 kilobytes per second. It's like going from watching Netflix in 720 to 4K. It also has a 3.5mm auxiliary input For wired, latency-free connections, ideal for turntables, CD players, or devices without Bluetooth. Setup is easy. Download the Tronsmart app, find the speaker, pair it, and access all advanced features. It has a 5-band equalizer that will let you adjust the sound exactly how you like it, from bass to treble. It also has the spatial audio mode, which we can access directly with a button or with a tap on the panel inside the app. And the difference is immediate, because honestly, the music feels like it's coming out of the walls. The projection isn't flat. As soon as we activate this audio, like I said, we're going to have a very clear sound envelope. I'll show you real tests, including ones we've done outside the studio, but we're doing one live so you can listen with me.
Subscribe.
Let's do it and have a real test here live. I'm gonna do it with you, although you'll also see some that I've done previously here in the studio and outside in the living room, but this way you can see it with me. The setup. I start recording the screen and turn on the device. Have they already paired here? As you can see, you just open it, the list of speakers appears, you tap, and you're already directly inside the device. What do we have on the main interface? We have the speaker and battery percentage, plus a volume unit meter to adjust audio power and intensity. Skip song, play, and pause. On the left, everything is listed, in case we add more speakers at the top right. We have direct functions like auto power off, firmware update, disconnect, and the user manual. Below are 3 icons. This is the main or home screen. We have the equalizer settings screen, where by default we have sound pulse, deep bass, classic, rock, or custom. This is the 5-band equalizer I mentioned. And then in the last one we have spatial audio, which we can turn on and off with a single tap, switch between Bluetooth and auxiliary modes. Stereo pairing mode. If we use another device, it will notify us about voice messages and when the device is turned off or on. We can also customize the LEDs. I have a white one set, but we can also pick pink, purple, blue, or breathing mode. Or spinning around. Here it will also alternate through the color spectrum. I'm going to open Spotify, I have a playlist here, and I'm going to set it by default. Okay, so you can see the difference. This is without spatial audio, okay? Can you notice the difference? Just by listening. Should I turn off spatial audio? It sounds good, but it's flatter.
I'll turn it on later. We can turn it up.
And lower the volume. We hold it down and skip to the next song. We turn up the music, we turn up the audio, we pause and play. Okay, before anything else, fun fact, it's about what I was telling you regarding spatial audio. It's not only useful for ascending, but it also improves sound dispersion, which means it sounds good from any angle in the room. And you don't have to be sitting exactly, let's say, in the sweet spot like with other speakers. As I mentioned, you can pair it with another FIITUNE 30 to make a true stereo system with separate left and right channels. And it's also compatible with voice assistance through the connected phone, although it doesn't have built-in microphones, which honestly is something I would miss, for example for calls, and that's it. In conclusion, let's get straight to the point to see if this Tronsmart FIITUNE 30 is worth it. I would highlight as strong points the spectacular sound for its price, the very premium build quality, and the spatial audio that really works. And besides, with a long-lasting battery and that 80-watt power, which really stands out across the different music genres we listen to. As for weak points, well, I could point out that it's big, it's a bit heavy for portable use, and charging takes quite a while. It takes between 4 and 5 hours to fully charge. And the spatial audio, although very good, isn't real Dolby Atmos. The current price is 179 euros on their website. Here comes my personal opinion, and honestly, for this price, it's a bargain. For example, a Sonos Era 300 with similar features costs 450 euros, a JBL Boombox 3 is also around 400 euros, and they don't have spatial audio or high-res certification. My recommendation is that if you're looking for a speaker for your home, one you can occasionally move or take anywhere, that sounds amazing and won't break the bank, this is your speaker. However, if you need something super practical and portable to take on trips, then maybe you should look at other more compact options. And that's it. As always, I'll leave the link in the description so you can access the marketplaces where you can find different prices. It depends on where you buy it. I'm telling you that on their website it's 179 euros. And well, you already know the routine. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Share this with a friend who always complains their music sounds bad. Also, tell me in the comments what kind of music you listen to most. And if you've noticed the difference with other quality speakers, as always, thank you so much for joining me in this review. See you in the next video, and may technology be with you. See you soon. Thank you.